Developing the dog's discipline and obedience should be a task for every day of the week. In the course of its work, a dog has to ignore a number of distracting scents that have nothing to do with its job. This training tool serves to improve the keenness of the dog's sense of smell. Materials with various intense scents have been placed in the compartments. Only one holds a narcotic for the dog to find. In the exercise, the dog works under a weighted workload in the dark. It has to search out the narcotic in artificial light and with strangers around. There are more than 50 hiding places in this specially constructed brick wall. The dog has to work with extraordinary accuracy if it wants results. Small dogs often have to be lifted up to do the job, so it must get used to this. Dogs must practice searching and indicating precisely above the height of their own bodies. Searching the premises of a whole restaurant or bar is not easy on a dog. Dogs also have to search for drugs hidden in the ground, off the leash as well. They must indicate a find by scratching furiously. The dog's equipment, instruments required in caring for the dog, the play objects, narcotics and accessories, first aid package, school books and notes, tobacconist's goods with a distracting aroma, drinks, detergents, spices, medicine. We've come to the end of the institutional training of the dog when it has learnt the scent of the drugs and the techniques with which to search for them. In the final phase of training, the exercise takes place on real premises, with all kinds of narcotics hidden in various amounts for different lengths of time and at different heights, in the most ingenious and realistic places. It is at this point that the differences between the dogs trained for the police, border controls and customs appear. In a bus, the dog has to investigate every possible place where drugs may be hidden, under the direction of the handler. The exercise should be completed on and off the leash. Only an active, quick dog, one that is good at solving problems, will manage in a congested warehouse, where in spite of many difficulties, a lot of baggage has to be checked in a short time. At this phase of the training, dogs are able to work for 8 to 10 minutes. The airport sniffer dog has a very specialised job. The dog has to practice on still and moving conveyor belts. This work requires intensive concentration on the part of the dog. The dogs must check a large number of passengers and their luggage, despite the many distracting scents and the plethora of activity in the waiting halls. And they must do all this while remaining almost unnoticed. A systematic examination of the interior of an aeroplane can be carried out only after the passengers have disembarked. Here a dog indicates the actual seat of a drug smuggler, as well as the place where the drug was hidden. A dog that is a little uncertain of its way searching a large shipment can be helped to gradually get accustomed to the difficult circumstances. In the situational exercises, the dog is trained to cope with the specific circumstances that it will find itself in during the course of its work. It is important that the dog gets used to the members of the search team. Instead of their presence disturbing the dog, it should be indifferent to them. Because of the size of the towboats, the dog's role consists mainly of searching areas under suspicion and those areas where the lack of space obstructs human access. Land searches also demand special training and skills. The suspect area is divided into sectors using stretches of ribbon. These sectors are methodically searched, the dog on a leash with the handler, along 1 to 1.5 metre wide strips. Initially, a larger area is also given to a dog to practice searching, off the leash. In this phase of the training, the dog must also be given larger amounts, even tens of kilograms, to find. successfully begins the second part of its training at its assigned post. The official forces responsible for conducting drug searches must be flexible when searching in the various places where narcotics are to be found. The routes, the means of transporting them, and the places where they are commonly stored.